All right, let's go to Portland. I'm going to take the Los Angeles Clippers team total over 112.5, playing the first game of like a duplex spot here, 2 games back to back in Portland. Now, the Clippers have been struggling. Let's keep it a bean coming out of the break. They're 6-8. As soon as I gave them some love coming out of the break, I was talking about how bullish I am on the Clippers and the Mavericks. Mavericks been doing their thing, but the Clippers have just fallen off a cliff. As I mentioned, 6-8 overall, minus 2.1 on the net rating. But that said, the offense is still top 10. Now, Jay, I don't really know what happened against the Atlanta Hawks. That's one of those games where they just flat out didn't show up. We're not interested. The only 2 people that showed up in that game were Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Both of those guys scored 28 and 25 points respectively. Nobody else on the team was in double digits. James Harden has been struggling as of late. We can talk about that for a second. He had 9 points, but Terrence Mann had 7 points. Zubac had 6. So it was a struggle outside of those 2 guys. And if you go back and watch that game, it was just a lot of individual stuff going on with Kawhi and Paul George. Now, I've talked to a couple people around the league, and Jay, I would love your thoughts here on James Harden. And we know what's going on with the unders. We know the officiating has changed quite a bit here in the last month. James Harden is not doing really well with it. He's been struggling at the cup and offensively. But I will say this, for the Clippers, these games have been against outside of the Atlanta game. These are the last 8 or 9 games have been against some of the toughest defenses in the NBA. They were since March 3rd, they were in Minnesota. That was when they won 89-88. They just absolutely struggled to put the ball in the basket. Then they went to at Milwaukee, at Houston. They played the Bulls. They played Milwaukee again. They played Minnesota again. They played the Bulls again. Then they played the Pelicans, and then they played the Hawks. So they played the Hawks coming off a really, really tough stretch where a bunch of these games are also stacked up on each other. We were talking about fading the Clippers. They were playing 4 and 6 days and just a ton of games in a row. We talked to Ty Lue came out and talked about how he was essentially upset with the league with how the schedule is breaking out for the Los Angeles Clippers. Said it was ridiculous how many games they had stacked up on top of each other. But now they haven't played since Sunday. This game is on Wednesday. That is 2 full days off going into a game day. That's at night, of course, and they're playing one of the worst teams in the NBA and defensively in the Blazers. Their last 10 games, 24th in defense, 29th in turnover percentage at 16.8. So even though Harden's been having a tough time creating offense, that change in the whistle has been giving him a hard time. He should be able to create with PG and Kawhi more flow, more cohesiveness, more pace, even though they've been playing pretty slow against Simons and Scoot Henderson. If Harden can't, I think Harden has enough juice left to create in this spot for his guys and get a couple buckets himself. The only reason I didn't lay the 11 or 11.5, Jay, is flat out because I was a little scared of the back door. But I expect them to be able to put up 112, 115 plus on a terrible Portland team coming off playing their toughest stretch of the season. If you go back and look at it, the competition and the amount of games in the stretch was very difficult. Now they get a couple days off. The Portland Trailblazers are just what the doctor ordered. I'll take over 112.5 on the team total for the Clippers.
Yeah, I can't talk you off here. They have lost 4 of their last 5 games, so they're 1-4 straight up, and against the spread last 5. But if they could go and put up 126 versus the Bulls on the road, I know that there was a horrible spot, back-to-back spot, and overtime for the Bulls. But if they could put up 126 versus them, then they should be able to put up 112 here versus the Blazers. Now, Blazers have been playing well. DeAndre Ayton has remembered how to play basketball. They must have told him that like we're gonna dock your pay or something like that, or we're gonna waive you or something. You're gonna lose some money. So he probably like, oh, okay, No, let me get off in there and play. I remember how to play again. So Simon's been going crazy as well, but they're still not the greatest defensive team. The Clippers, especially like from the guard position, they should be able to overpower these guys. They need a confidence boost and win. And like you said, this is exactly what the doctor ordered up the Portland Trailblazers as well. So coming off a couple days of rest as well, coming off a horrible loss versus the Hawks. I was watching that game. I was looking to see if I was like, man, the Clippers not finna lose to these guys, are they? I was like, all right, they +7. Let me see if I can find a little spot to live bet them. And the game just kept getting worse. I'm like, all right, I ain't messing with the Clippers right now.
Yeah.
So I would definitely go with their team total over rather than messing with the points, trying to lay 11.5 on the road with them versus the Blazers team, who's actually been playing somewhat well. They have lost 3 straight in 4 of their last 5 and 7 of their last 9 as well. But come back to the house here from Chicago. This is a Clipper spot. I like what you're doing and going with the team total over and not messing with the spread, because I don't trust them laying 11.5 right now.